All right, boys and girls, my name is Mike Kelly, animatorsforum.com and Real Illusion Forum. Somebody's having problems getting hair morphs in. So hair's a weird thing. I've recently, or not recently, but in the last 6 months or so, I've put a number of videos showing how different hair is from other things. So I'll show you how to do it. I much prefer putting the morphs here in DAZ, adjusting the hair the way you want it, and then exporting it that way. But if you were bound and determined to have the morphs, put them in. Remember, though, the most important thing is to get the name of the morph right when you're exporting it. So you want to go to parameter settings and make sure that the name matches the label, so or vice versa. So it's the name that you want to export. So in this case, front, left, back is a morph we want to export, so we can do that. But some morphs, even though they have that name there, they might say, like say this says shoulder or drape left, whatever, and we go to parameter settings and it's PJCM collar up. So it's completely different than what that says. So you can't just assume that the label is what you want to export. So in this particular case, though, we'll just export this front left back and front left down, okay? So basically, we'll go in and we'll go to here, and we'll go to export, and we'll choose Apex Hair, and that exists already. We'll go to Edit Morph Rules, and so we want anything with front, whoops, I didn't spell it right. We'll just say front. Anything with front in it, because that has both, well, we'll do front left. We'll do front left. And then the same thing for here. Front, actually we'll do front right. There. Okay, so we'll export both of those. But you have to export exactly what you want to export, or something that has most of the name of it in there. If you don't, you won't get those exports. So we'll accept that in there. And then it's going to write out and it's going to go through and export anything that matches front left or front right. You got to be careful about some of these things because there's a bucket load of morphs sometimes. If you did that PJCM morph, you would get hundreds of morphs, and they would just be way too many morphs to manage. Even at this, so you're going to have a lot of morphs that you'll have to manage in there. But it's manageable. So now we'll go to Character Creator, go to Transform. I'm going to show you the trick on this here. If I come in here, I'm loading up the FBX file, and as you all know, because we're not importing the skin textures, we don't care about the skin, we're just thinking about the hair here, that we don't need to do advanced, so basic is fine. And when we go in here, I'll show you that it's going to bring it in as cloth. Now that's good. We want it to bring it in as cloth. If for some reason this says hair, then the morphs won't come in properly. So we need to have them come in as cloth. So if it says hair, change it to cloth, and then we'll say okay. And you might say to me, Mike, well, Mike, I want it to be hair. Well, we're going to make it hair. But you have to bring it in as cloth, or those morphs won't come in. And I could show you that, but you can try it yourself and you can see. If you bring it in as hair, then you can't get the morphs. And so now we're coming in slowly but surely, applying the cloth and conforming it. And actually, you can leave a lot of hair as cloth. It doesn't really matter. It works pretty much the same, but I do like to make it hair so that it conforms properly to the head. So we'll go there, and there's our hair. And if you go to our morphs, you can see if we select that here, that the morphs down here for the long has the front left. So there's our morphs. We can turn them on. Whoops. Turn them on eventually, and you can see there they morph. Okay. So they're all there. They're morphs. Everything that has front in there has those morphs. It's not hair, though, and if we wanted to change it to hair, we could do that. We could go in here and transfer skin weights. And when you say transfer skin weights, this is going to change the item from what kind of item it is to something else. So in this case, we're going to transfer the skin weights and make it hair and apply it. And once it's applied, takes a bit of time. The reason it's taking so long is that this is a lot of polygons. You can see up here, there's over 500,000 triangles here. The hair always comes in dense. Now you can reduce the polygons and do that, and I would recommend you do that to some degree to make it easier. Anyway, and then we go back to here, and now those you can see the transforms are still there. So all the morphs are still there, even having changed it to hair. But if you brought it in as hair, then these morphs would not be there. So that's a little trick to get the morphs for hair if you're dead set on getting hair morphs. I was trying to think about a time. I don't think I've ever brought in hair morphs. I've always morphed it in DAZ and done that, but maybe it gives you some more flexibility here. As you can see, there's a ton of morphs that you got in here now for that hair. So hopefully this helps, and we'll see you around the forums.